Welcome to Dr. K. Vasuki channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is social work research and the scope of social work research. Or research is a creative and systematic one. If you want to increase your knowledge or you want to verify something or you have to get in-depth knowledge about something, as a researcher, you have to perform your role, which has step-by-step process. So, research is a process of steps used to collect, and the collected data should be organized. The organized data should be analyzed and interpreted. Then you can get your conclusion. So, these are the process while research we have to follow as a social work research. As a social worker, we have to work with different scenarios. Work with individual, work with group, work with a community. We have to carry out research based on the problems, or based on the issues, or based on the situation on the whole. While doing any researches, we have to follow scientific method. Scientific method in the sense which is systematic way of investigation or collecting information or gathering or data which provides systematic or scientific information and theories for explanation. It gives practical explanation and practical application of knowledge. There are several ways of obtaining answer to our questions related to our profession. So we have to follow scientific method. But when you say that you are undertaking a research study to find out answer to a particular question, you are implying that the process being applied. Is process undertaken within a framework of set of philosophies, use procedures, methods and techniques that have been tested for their validity and reliability. It has to be designed to be unbiased and objective. Social work research is the application of research method to solve problems that social workers confront in their field, that is practice of social work. It, it provides information that can be taken into consideration by social workers prior to making a decision because they are working with a client like individual, group and community, and they are belongs to some social work agencies. They have to do research, they have to follow systematic and scientific method to find out or to take a decision. Scope of social work research. Social work profession has a scientific base which consists of a special body of knowledge, tested knowledge, hypothetical knowledge and assumptive knowledge. Assumptive knowledge requires transformation into hypothetical knowledge, which in turn needs a transformation into tested knowledge. Social work research has significant role in transforming the hypothetical and assumptive knowledge to tested knowledge. The physical science like physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, they are giving accurate and exact result because they only deal with physical phenomena, whereas social science like history, geography, sociology, and social work like psychology, they are can't provide exact or accurate result. They are neither exact nor accurate in nature because they are dealing with human behavior. We cannot say that human behavior is a permanent one. The human behavior is influenced by biological, psychological, social, cultural, and economical and environmental factor. Based on that, their experience, their observation, their behavior also has been changed. So we cannot provide exact and accurate result like physical science. But even though we have our own social work concepts which guides us, we have our own social work principles, theories, and we also following social work methods and skills that are major areas of social work profession. And also that's why we are telling that social work profession has scientific ways. We are also observing, we are also testing the knowledge. For that, we are using research as a method. As a social worker, we have to adapt social work research to understand and the client a problem, to identify what are the causes behind it and what are the consequences may occur. So, social workers adapt social work research as a method to transforming the assumptive and hypothetical knowledge into tested knowledge. While working with a client, we can't do anything or we can't suggest it. So, in social work research, it involves the study of relationship of social worker with their client, individual, group, community, on various levels of interaction and therapy, as well as their natural relationship and functioning within the organizational structure of social agencies. So, social work research has significant role in transforming the hypothetical and assumptive knowledge to tested knowledge. So, social work research plays a vital role in transforming the hypothetical and assumptive knowledge to be tested knowledge. இருள் நீங்கி இன்பம் பயக்கும் மருள் நீங்கி மாசறு காட்சி அவர்க்கு. மயக்கம் தெளிந்து மாசற்ற உண்மையை உணர்ந்தால் அறியாமை அகன்று நலம் தோன்றும். Significance of research in social work. First one is to attempt at understanding through the studies to establish, identify and measure to need for service. While working with a client, it may be individual, group or community. As a social worker, problem are part of our life. We all deal with our own problem. It based on individual problem or family related. Family have family issues and communities have community problem. Community must come together to solve their problem, just like families. In social work, try to solve problems of their client. It may be individual, group or community. They will collect possible information related to problem from various sources, and collected information should be organized, analyzed, interpreted so that they can identify a real need of community or individual or group. Based on the research, they should identify what are the measures should be taken to solve the problem or meet the needs. So, in fact, while applying the social work research, we may find answer for following questions. What is the problems? Why does the problem exist? Who is causing the problem? And who is affected by it? When did the problem first occur? When did it become significant? Next, to measure the service rendered as they related to needs. For effective program, social workers should measure whether their service rendered by them are related to needs. They have to know how much of efforts they have put up its effect to meet the needs of client. Here, social worker efforts being a factor to know whether really making a difference. Examine, measure and evaluate the consequences of social work intervention. The indicator must be clearly set. For measuring anything, we have to set indicator. With that indicator only, we are going to assess ourselves and our service, whether it really creates consequences or effect. The indicator need to be relevant. Based on the indicator that already we set, we have to use to examine, and we are using to measure and evaluate the consequences of social work intervention. Assess the efficacy of specific techniques of offering service. The project's outcomes are its result. Am I right? What actually happened as a consequences of specific techniques which we adapt. We are adapting some techniques for achieving something. We have to assess it whether we have achieved or not. To study the methodological aspect of social work, research methods are classified into different criteria based on the natural or based on the general category. Whether we are adapting quantitative research method or qualitative research method, or based on the nature, we have whether we are going to adapt descriptive research method or analytical research method. We have to choose. The areas of social work research may be broadly categorized as follows. Studies to establish, identify and measure the need for service. As a social worker, we are carried out our research based on the scientific methods to identify the real needs, to measure the needs for service. Without research, we can't identify our needs and what are the measures we can provide. So it plays vital role in order to provide service. Second one is to measure the service offered as they related to need. We have to monitor our work, whether the services provided are really helpful to meet the needs, and to test and evaluate the result of social work intervention. Based on the need, we are providing some intervention techniques or methods to meet our individual or group or communities expectations. We have to test whether we are really facilitating the service or not. And social work research helps us to list the efficacy of specific techniques of offering service. So while doing research, we may find out what are the effective techniques which really helps us to provide service. So these are the some of the areas of social work which really helps us. And social work is a diverse profession. Possibly broad reach areas includes community development, community health, child welfare, women welfare, youth welfare, age welfare, welfare of ST, SC, poverty alleviation program, physical and mental disability, juvenile delinquency, crime and correction, management of social welfare, department and organization, disaster management, industrial social work, issues concerned advocacy and network, which enlist broadest area which is very frequently studied by social worker. Again, within one or more problem areas, research might focus on individuals, group, families, community, and organization or broad social systems. It might deal with characteristics of a larger problem and the service available to them. So these are the sum of scopes and significance of social work research. Thank you.